And that's how you start the show. Welcome back to Toy Kind of Mood. This is episode 134, Rebels Yell, Star Wars Kind of Mood. I'm your co-host, Bobby, and lately with me, Travis Moody. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? May the force be with you today.
And also with you. And we have a special guest, a guy who bailed me out. Well, actually bailed Travis out and helped me out. Mr. Sarlacc himself, David Speck. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
So, look, Star Wars time. It is a Star Wars time. That was quick. Speck,
he the warp speed.
Right, he was back with us. He had to switch locations.
No, not yet. He just.
I got bounced. Okay. Sorry, I was trying to. I don't think I have the comment. Give me 1 second. You guys start, and I'll come back around.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, anyways, there's Vlad. There's my homie. What's up, Vlad? All right. So, Moody, look. There's a lot to process here, a lot to say. First off, how are you feeling about Ahsoka?
It's awesome, right? I heard 14 million people watched the first episode. I'm not sure how many have followed up. I'm sure they're following up. I do like that we're getting an earlier start time now, right? It's like
Tuesday.
I'm still, thanks to Lance, my homie, I'm still watching it at midnight. We watched it at midnight last night. So he got back from some events. So but overall, dude, it's kicking ass. It's you gotta watch Rebels, right? I mean, that's kind of the deal there, and that's part of the discussion that we'll have.
Yeah, so here's the thing. The numbers are low. They're lower than like She-Hulk and Mandalorian and House of the Dragon. Fine. Yeah, look, here's the thing. I think people are kind of, if you're not a diehard Star Wars fan, I think you're a little like tired of Marvel, Star Wars because it's so often. But look, this is Rebels season 5. I actually saw someone complaining about that. Like, well, to get Ahsoka, you have to watch all of Rebels. No shit. Speck, what about you, buddy? How are you enjoying Ahsoka?
I'm enjoying it. It's funny. I mean, I watched the first episode when it came out. I just watched the new one yesterday.
Yeah.
And something was off a little bit, but I mean, I still enjoyed it. It's Star Wars. I'm not in control of the franchise.
Yeah.
And that's basically the attitude I've adopted. I'm not in control of it. I don't get to tell the stories. So I'm going to try and get as much enjoyment out of what they're giving me as I can.
Yeah.
There are some misses like Obi-Wan, but I still try and find things that I like within that. But overall, I'm liking Ahsoka. I was a huge Rebels fan. I rewatched season 4 of Rebels before this started. But a couple of my friends were all just like, dude, what is up with the show? I don't want to hate it, but I can't stand it. And this is why, and this is why, and this is why. And it's just like, I get what you're saying, but
it's funny when Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau were like kind of hired on to like lead the new, I guess, be like the new like Kevin Feige of Marvel. I know people were like, oh, they're gonna like get rid of the new trilogy and like retcon everything. And no, they're actually like, no, we're gonna like connect the OG trilogy to the new trilogy because it's regardless of how it's still a fun trilogy to watch. It is.
It's been, look, Bobby, it's been proven that you can save a mediocre geek trilogy, which with what they did with the Clone Wars. So I thought maybe, and I've said this on the show before, is like, why don't they try to save it with like an animation for the trilogy, but instead they're going to do it with live action, because when I said that, we didn't really have as much live action, so there's no reason for them to. And then they had some cartoon already, Resistance. It was more aimed at kids. But from what I did watch a little, but from what I heard from people who watched it all, it was like pretty good, but nobody watched it because of not only was it tied to the trilogy, it was aimed at kids. You know what I mean?
Kids, yeah.
So there was kind of that whole thing going on. So
I don't know. I mean, Rebels was sold as being aimed at kids, and Clone Wars was being sold at aimed as kids.
those were not totally.
Well,
they were
when you
marketed that way, but they didn't end up that way.
When you started watching Rebels, it was skewed a little younger, and then as the seasons progressed, it very much grew up and matured. And Clone Wars did that as well. Rebels did it, I think, on a larger scale and very much became young adult.
Yeah.
I feel like Resistance was very much kind of in the same vein. I thought it was a great show, and it was refreshing to watch a Star Wars series. They had a guest star like Poe Dameron was in an episode, and
right.
Captain Phasma showed up in an episode or two, but really it was new characters. Nobody used the Force. There was one episode that kind of alluded to a couple of kids, but there were no lightsabers. And so it was nice to watch, like, hey, we're on this new planet. We're dealing with these characters and pilots and flying and whatever this sub story is that's
right.
Interaction and dealing with the First Order, but nothing with Jedi, nothing with and seeing how that led into Force Awakens.
Yeah. Well, and like also because once again, Filoni connected Ahsoka to the new trilogy by, and people were who was it? Was it comic book resources? But someone was complaining, or maybe about IGN, that Sabine is wielding the Force, but she's not a Jedi, and everyone's like, Obi-Wan said that in the OG trilogy. Everyone has the Force around them, but for some reason, people have forgotten that. So, all right, Trav, you want to take us to the next slide?
This is where it gets spicy. Okay, so who we're gonna ask Dave, he's our resident cameraman. Who's the DP on these shows, and why are we getting so many delicious ass shots in a Disney show? They're everywhere. They're very gratuitous at this point. I mean, there's even montages being made of all the assery that we're seeing in Ahsoka. Ahsoka.
The two DPs are Eric Steelberg and Q and Tran, and I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't know if it was the cameraman's choosing, or if the directors kind of said, hey, what if we came in and followed and
just
they're following all right.
But
Bobby,
oh, sorry, I was just going to say and they're both great DPs, and I respect them both. I have not met them, but I know their reputations. But one of the big complaints one of my friends had is that the first episode of Ahsoka is very flat looking. There isn't a lot of contrast in the lighting, especially in the faces. And I started thinking about it, and I have a lot of theories. I have a lot of questions, but and I can't believe his name is escaping David Klein. So David Klein, who shot Book of Boba and took over shooting Mandalorian, was supposed to shoot this series, but Mando season 3 ran long, and so they had to fill out the crew differently, and so that all new crew, 2 new DPs. Obviously, Dave Filoni directed the first one. I'm sure Favreau was busy finishing Mandalorian, so he probably didn't really have a whole lot of time to like assist or help with this. And I think a lot of that kind of showed in a way. And then as far as the first episode being a little more flat, I kind of am making the guess that Filoni sort of wanted that because he wanted a visual bridge to Rebels, which was a little brighter, a little more colorful. I could be totally wrong. But as you notice, like episode 2 and now episode 3, it's getting more contrasty. You're seeing a lot more shadows, a lot more shape. And that is fixing one of my big complaints, which is Hera. In the first episode and kind of the second episode, because of how flat lit she is, she kind of looks like really amazing cosplay as opposed to this Twi'lek alien pilot. but I think in episode 3, as we've seen more of her, and you're getting a lot more shadow and a lot more, it's selling the imagination better.
So you brought something up there, and it. I think one of the biggest complaints of the first episode was the fact that you're right in the flat, but also like kind of the acting was kind of flat as well.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to like episode 1, where you have actors not interacting with anything. Yeah. And then the funny thing is that Mary Elizabeth Winstead, I think, was probably the most wooden of them all. Mm-hmm. And her husband is Ewan McGregor, who from the original trilogy or prequel trilogy showed like, hey, this dude's got the chops and he can truly act even if there's nothing in front of him. He can really visualize and pretend. But I think, hopefully once she's there in person interacting with real people, kind of like a little bit of episode 2 at the shipyard, because she's a great actress. She's had some, Fargo and Scott Pilgrim, and so I don't put the onus on her.
I was not expecting when we comment about anything flat with Star Wars, because with Hera and Sabine, it's been all about flat. But otherwise, I like what they're doing with it, and they're obviously it's okay to have Star Wars Rebels season 5. Who cares? I mean, go do the groundwork. It gives people more of a reason to go back to the archives. They're on Disney. You're paying for it, right, to watch this. So go back. Some people don't like animation or they just watch live action. Well, then just watch recap videos. There's millions of them. Screen Crush does a lot of them. And then also, I mean, this comment, I'm just going to put dude on blast. Okay, well, so every Monday night I could go on and just complain about G.I. Joe fans and get the cheap views. But, I actually want to talk about things I want to talk about. So there you go. But anyway, move on, Bobby. Go ahead.
But no, I think you're right. I think Mary Elizabeth was very stiff, and look, not every pilot is gonna episode is gonna jump out the gates. So I think we're seeing this evolution, and both like you said, like the direction, the cinematography, the acting is kind of coming more to life. It's going from 2D to 3D, and I think maybe that could also be intentional. Like we're going from cartoon very flat to this 3D world, and I think episode 3. No, spoilers. If you haven't watched it, plug your ears. The space scene was, I think, fantastic. I thought that was really needed. And I love the fact that once again, with Andor, they're setting up the arrogance that allowed the Empire to reemerge. Yeah.
Oh, well, hey, the show is called Star Wars, so it's always great when we get dogfights. And I thought last night's dogfights, we're not going to have deep story spoilers, so we're going to be very surface level with when we talk about these episodes. I think we have. Right. But I thought it was terrific. It was written action. It was like a short episode, an action episode. It pushed it along, but they didn't have to give you anything too deep. And they were hints and pieces. And we'll talk about some of those as we look through the action figures. We'll talk about some stuff that's relative to the show as well.
As we look through the action figures, we'll discuss the action of Star Wars. By the way, don't forget that a lot of the pilot scenes from the OG Star Wars were influenced from World War II, and we saw that very much on display in this episode because it was the gunner in Ahsoka's ship fighting against they're not Empire, they're like mercenaries basically, in what looks like Spitfires from World War II. So that is always a fun thing to talk about.
It kind of looked like, maybe I'm wrong, but when I saw him, I was like, is that the same spaceship that was Grievous's spaceship?
I want to say yes.
Or very close to it, or
close to it.
Had a very modified version of it.
Yeah. Yes. This, I can't think of her name right now, and of course
Shin Hati.
Okay.
Or Shin Hatai, I don't know how to pronounce it.
But yeah, she does have a Padawan braid. So she is Ray Stevenson's Padawan. They're not Sith, they're not Jedi, they're
Dark Jedi.
Huh?
Like Dark Jedi mercenaries. Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called, but it's the whole whatever the theory people had is because their lightsabers aren't red, they're orange.
Force
orange.
users.
So they're not full Sith, but they're not Jedi. And we know that Ray Stevens' character, is it Balin?
Balin, yes.
Balin's skull
Was obviously a Jedi, or at least a Padawan at one point in time.
At one point.
And that's kind of a nice dichotomy between seeing this guy who walked away from the Order and what he's become versus somebody like Ahsoka who walked away from the Order.
Now, actually, I did see, for anyone, I was watching heavy spoilers on YouTube. There we go. Love heavy spoilers. And they were showing that for one of the games they had different, they had like what ifs for a video game, and it was Dark Obi-Wan. And it looks very much like Balin's outfit. It had like the black robe, and it looks very similar. And look, Ray Stevenson, like, he is making me love the show more than I probably should because he's so good in his scenes. Like the fact that he passed away, just like absolutely, just like is gut wrenching for.
We're gonna talk a lot about Balin as we go on too. So.
Good.
I was actually I was bored the other night and it was late, and I saw that Punisher War Journal was on, I think, Hulu. And so I hadn't watched it in years, so I put it on. And, you know, the movie is what the movie is, but he is just, you know, he was great as Firefly. He was great as Punisher. Yeah. He's great in this character. It's a huge loss. And I know a lot of people that worked on Ahsoka that worked with him and said that, like, he was just the sweetest guy.
If he hadn't passed, Secret Wars could have brought him back as Punisher. All right, let's get into the action figures. We'll talk about Balin more, but retro series. Travis, you don't get retro, do you?
No, so I believe I have the original box that came out that was out. I believe it was Star Wars Celebration last year. Dave might know. Dave, when did that first retro box come out?
It was either Celebration or it was PulseCon. I don't remember because I got that one too. And
yeah, same.
That's it. I just wanted the OGs, and that's where I stopped. Yeah, I just honestly, this is like a fire round for me. I just threw these up there just because it's part of the stream. So
that's fine. I have got that box. I've got the Moth signed by Giancarlo Esposito, and then I've got the Mandalorian just because I wanted the Mandalorian. I mean, but this is so. I do love the simplicity of it, and look, if it's on sale, I might pick it up. The Sabine Wren. There we go.
This is the one that's like the essentials, right? So that was,
you
know, just I never really had them as a kid, so that was just a way to kind of get that, and that was it.
Yeah, that's fine. The Sabine Wren, I like the fact that they did mention, and the first thing I thought about when I saw this was the old Voltron toys where you put the helmets on. But yeah, I like the Sabine Wren with the two guns and the green lightsaber. I dig that. This Hera left me a little flat. Look, I mean, it's cool, but like when you got two lightsabers, two guns, a lightsaber, and then you just get a little gun, it's like for $15, no. Yes. Chopper.
Yeah, these should be like $5 or $6.
They really should be. These should be a lot cheaper. Chopper's cool. I love Chopper. And once again, look, Chopper is my tied for second favorite droid behind R2 and K2SO. Moving on.
That doesn't even look. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Doesn't even look like
hard.
Doesn't look like Morgan at all. Yeah.
No.
Well, but you know, if you go back to the retro figures, a lot of the retro figures don't even. So I think
that's the point. They're just basic
with that. Yeah. So with the retro stuff, I got that box set. I got the Mandalorian, and then I get the prototype ones, but I don't get any of the others.
I will get some of the prototypes. I've got Chewie, and I think I got Luke.
Yeah, I've got.
Those are cool.
I've got the Mando. I've got the Boba Fett. I've got Chewie, Luke, Stormtrooper. I think the only one that I don't have was the Vader because that was a Comic-Con exclusive, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago.
Gotcha. Moving on, the Assassin Droid, cool, but pass. Merrick, he is someone we'll be talking later about.
Yeah, we got a whole thing on Merrick.
Yeah. Once again, cool figure. TVC. These I might.
No. This is Black Series.
Oh, it's Black. Oh.
Oh wait, no, that isn't. You're right. That is TVC, isn't it?
That's TVC.
Oh, yeah. I put the wrong slide in there. That's my fault. There you go.
And
anyway,
look. Well, look,
we're going into Black Series, but yeah.
Look, TVC I think is actually for the price better than Black Series. I'm sorry, just do. For what you pay and what you get with them, I kind of like just a little bit better. Although the Boba, I hate the Boba Fett tax. That's pissing me off. Like $25 for a TVC figure. No.
That's crazy. That's
like
crazy.
20 minutes. Fuck off with that shit.
The online prices are like 20, 21, but it's still, and I'm the dumbass that's paying that tax. But
well, I'm pissed because they just released. And I've seen them at 2 Targets, 2 different Boba Fett's now, and they're both like the comic book versions, and they look fantastic. And I'm not paying $20, $25 for.
Yeah, those are the ones they say that in store it's like $25.99, but if you scan them on the app, it's $20.99, which is better. It still sucks. I still paid it because those 2 figures they look fantastic.
Yeah. What? Okay, here we go. Ahsoka.
So I guess I was supposed to show Black Series, Ahsoka, Sabine, and Hera all in one since they were revealed already at Comic-Con. But I botched it and put a TVC pic. But you know what? That goes to show you how good the TVC figures are looking.
That's what I'm saying.
It was a Black Series figure. So that was a kind of a great point by an accident. But this one doesn't look all too different than the one we already have, right?
I haven't even pulled mine off the shelf to compare, but I'm going with they're the same. I'm skipping.
Yeah, same probably.
I'll probably skip Ahsoka. Maybe. I don't know. I do want to get the Sabine. I love KJ's right. Like low key, like TVC is where it's at. It's amazing. But I won't lie, that Black Series Sabine looks fantastic. I
feel like in real life, right? We got like, let's go back. So right here, like she's so beautiful and the pixie cut works, but then when you look at this, it's just like, I don't know, man. It's too boyish. It doesn't have the pixie feel to it. Just looks like a boy's cut. The face isn't bad. That's probably a bad angle. Let's see some of the other ones. Yeah, I don't know. She's not as pretty. I'm just gonna say it. She's not as pretty. Yeah, I mean it's a better shot. Maybe it's just a little too short. The hair could have like a little bit in the back, right? I know here we are mansplaining things. We're gonna get canceled, but I'm just saying, like I like the little hair in the back. It's cute, and then here it's just like, yeah, it's a little butch. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna be honest. I think she looks really cute in the show, even with the short hair and the figure.
Right.
It's not really doing it for me.
I don't know. The hair had a wash to it just to help like bring out the details a little more.
They could have gone with like the Black Widow here and had like some like, brushed to it.
Yeah, it's like way above the ears, where here it's like
but I think
see how it's over the ears? Yeah. So
but I think we're focusing way too much on an action figure's hair, but they could have just done like the Black Widow and gone with this hair. Just saying. That's a David.
Good,
There
we
we
got
go.
some positive people in the chat now because this guy, he's just here for his meme. So,
All right, let's see here. Let's get back on track.
oh wait, we didn't see Harry yet.
I know. Oh, are you going for okay?
Where the hell is Hera? So it goes, is she not on Pulse? It goes
Did
from,
she?
that's weird. It's not even, I guess you gotta like look it up. What a mess tonight. Sorry, guys.
Hold on. That's not a mess.
I'd rather show it than, yeah, here we go. Okay, cool. We got it.
Yeah,
What do you think of Hera, guys?
it doesn't do much for me.
Yeah. Once again, it's gonna be like a $25 figure, and I mean, if I find her on sale, sure, 100%. But once again, it's just one little gun, nothing else. You know, they should have put her. They should have put her with Chopper. Look, if they put her with Chopper, and we'll get to Chopper in a second, but in a second here. If they put her with Chopper and you know had
Deluxe. Yeah.
a deluxe, make it $40, that would have been different. That would have been like, ooh, I like
40. Yeah. They're not gonna do that. It's Disney. They need
I
the
know.
cut.
You know,
Lucasfilm gets a cut, Disney gets a cut. So
I know. So $45, $50, okay, fine. But still, I did like that. Speaking of, I like this Chopper.
it's the same one.
But
So,
I,
oh, sorry. I don't have
What do
any
you
of the only Rebels figure I have is Sabine. Kind of regret not getting them, and at the same time I don't. But Chopper is the one in this wave where if I see him, I might grab him. I'm not going to pre-order any of them, but I do like him a lot. He's a great character. He's a fun droid. And then you know, as we'll get like Sabine, if I see her on sale or clearance, maybe we'll see. You know, as I've said or mentioned in the chat or whatever, like I'm slowly pulling away from Black Series.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen so many on clearance where 6 months ago I would have just snagged them. Oh, $5 for Ewok Village Leia. Oh, $8 for this. And now I see them and I'm just like, yeah, I'm good.
yeah, and that's what I haven't pre-ordered them. I will wait. But it's one of the and I know Trav, you got the whole Rebel series, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Rebel, yeah. I didn't get any of the Rebels wave. I do kind of regret it, but goddamn, Vlad, like it's dead to me. Dead.
I mean, it's dead to a lot of people. Usually we get 40, 50 people watching. We got 8.
Yeah.
No one cares. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, but like Chopper looks great. Let's see, why is that? Okay, here we go.
I will say
look.
this about Chopper, though. Hold on. I will say this about Chopper. At least they just re-released it. It's in the old package under Rebels because you know Chopper's in Ahsoka, right? Sorry, spoiler alert, whatever. But they could have put it in that blue, the sky blue packaging, Ahsoka, and pretended they just were straight up in the stream and said it's a re-release, right? So
They
that's
found,
I mean, at least I
them
give
back in the warehouse. That's why.
Yeah, that's fine. And it's fine. It's great. I'm gonna get him. I'll get him, and I'll get the Professor. I love David Tennant in the show. I think he's doing a fantastic job. I think the Professor. Yeah. I think the Professor, you know, is giving kind of a lot of backstory that we didn't have to Star Wars.
Yeah, he's a really cool character. I might bite on this one too if I see it, even if I see him at full price.
Yeah.
Definitely, I like the droids. I like the funky aliens.
Yeah.
This is also the second droid that David Tennant has provided the voice for.
What was the first one?
Not in the Star Wars, but in the 2012 Ninja Turtle series, he was the Fugitoid.
That's right. Forget about that. My only drawback to this is that he should have come with 4 lightsaber handles. It wouldn't have been more expensive. They already have a shit ton of them, you know, molded and made. Because when he's got, you know, he has like, it's like the General Grievous. So he has like 4 hands. Give him 4 lightsabers.
He's known more as the assistant, the professor, someone of wisdom. He's not someone of war like Grievous. So I think giving him 4 lightsabers changes his character, who he is from the show.
He literally had 4 lightsabers in episode 3. When he was training,
it's not even really a lightsaber. It's like a training.
Yeah, give me. I don't give a shit. Just give me the handles.
Well, that's because they're gonna come out with training Professor Huang with the 4 lightsabers. That's a repack right there. You know what we're talking about here. So there you go. Agree to disagree.
But I do love this figure. And Vlad, it's I've got. We were talking earlier, and we'll get into later about the pre-orders, and I'm still waiting for 2 of my pre-orders to arrive sometime. But this I'm like, Speck, I might if I see him in the wild, snag him just because I love the character.
I'll agree. I agree because he's such a good character on the show. Mm-hmm. So it's like one of those so far 3 for 3. He's really good. He's very prominent. A lot of droids, other than C-3PO and R2-D2, even Chopper, I mean, they're just background kind of characters. This one's pretty. I mean, after Ahsoka and Sabine, and I think he has more screen time than Hera, right? So it's like pretty prominent character on the show, and cool design. The backpack with the extended hands is really cool. I think we have a shot of that too, right? Oh no, they didn't even. These are official slides. They didn't even do it. That's weak.
Yeah, but they did mention that they took time and effort to make sure that they are articulated, and yeah. So I'm happy with the way this comes out. And if it's 25, that's I think a good solid people. God damn it, a good solid price. Yeah. What's up, DJ?
And this is us. This is us with Star Wars. We're talking Star Wars tonight, but most of us are waiting for sales for all these or clearance.
Yeah, yeah, for the most part, yeah. Moving on, we've got next Ezra. I like the way this looks. I'll get Ezra. I don't have the Rebels, so this is a perfect chance for me to get those figures again. There's a lot of talk on who, and we'll get to Merrick in a little bit, who Merrick is. So Travis, you want to have the discussion now? Or you want to wait until we get to Merrick?
We'll wait till we get to Merrick, yeah. But what do you think of the what do you think of the figure from a cartoon animated figure to this?
Looks great. I think the way that they go from cartoon to real life and actually it looks like real armor. I like it. Speck?
Until I saw these pictures earlier today, when we just saw the rumor with the packaging, I thought that they were still doing the animated look for him. And in some ways it does kind of. I mean, we only saw him as a recorded hologram in the first episode. And I wasn't too impressed with the casting, but hopefully my mind will be changed on that. But I don't think that we're going to really see him this season. I think that it's going to be like a Force Awakens. He's going to show up at the very end and throw his lightsaber over his shoulder when we see him at the beginning of season 2. But as far as a figure goes, I think it looks good. And this is one of the ones where I might grab it on clearance if I'm still picking the lineup at that whenever these finally hit.
I had a question for you, Speck, or Bobby, whoever wants to answer. First of all, I want to address this one, Bobby, because I think maybe that could be like a spoiler kind of thing, even though it's in the cartoon. Maybe they kept that away. I mean, don't get me wrong; they're trying to save money.
It's in Sabine's
in the tower.
In the tower, it's on the desk in the background.
Okay, well, maybe giving it to him could be somewhat of a spoiler. I don't know. I was thinking about that, but then the other thing is too. Remember the Anakin that came out with those crazy Walmart exclusive like Clone Wars vintage, where it was like not the cartoon, but it obviously wasn't Hayden Christensen. It was like a mix. Do you think this is what that is?
Yes,
it's kind of like their own take on it.
I'm kind of with Speck. I wanted Mina Massoud to play him, who played Aladdin in Guy Ritchie's Aladdin. I really wanted him to play Ezra in this. I don't know how he's gonna be. Yeah, it's a very odd looking face sculpt, and so I'm kind of with you on that, Travis. The fact that it's not. I don't think it's a proper face, but dude, look at the Pedro Pascal head sculpt that we got.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, what the shit is this? I was like, like,
Yeah.
Actually,
Actually, I mean, it's not a bad face sculpt, and actually, you know who I want to use it for is that Parth Varma character, the wolf spider.
oh yeah.
Because actually, it's like it's clean cut, military. It's somewhat of a handsome face, right? It's not bad. It's not as bad as that Pedro Pascal or even that weird Anakin. It's a good face. It's probably just not Ezra. So there you go. I mean, the fact that we're always going to talk GI Joe in here, right? But the wolf spider that's coming out, that Walmart exclusive, that doesn't come with an additional face sculpt, and we want to put a story behind it. And obviously, he might have a look similar, right? We're guessing. So I mean, this could be a good face sculpt for that.
It could.
I mean, as of right now, this figure makes me think more of the piece of art that we keep seeing in episode 1.
Yes.
And end of Rebels than it does the
good call.
Yeah. Look, here's the thing, and if anyone can remember, remind me what the name of it is. The wolf that it was in Rebels. We haven't seen it yet in Ahsoka, but the wolf that, like,
I think they just called them Loth Wolves.
Is it Loth Wolves? I want a goddamn Loth Wolf. Like, yes, I do want a Loth cat, David. 100%, I want a Loth cat, but I want a Loth Wolf. I want like a giant. Give me like a $30 wolf, just giant, like, just give me a goddamn wolf, because I love the Loth Wolves. I do.
Shut up, punk. We talk about GI Joe on every show. It could be wrestling. We'll still talk about GI Joe. That's what we do. But we still are not afraid to branch out, even though it's gonna, it pisses people off because all they want to do is talk about GI Joe. But oh well.
I mean, look.
Until next week.
Is it right? Is this like I need it? No. Is it like, ooh, $10? Let's do it. Right. Moving on.
Wait, hold on.
What?
Black Series Sabine doesn't come with a loaf, does it? I'll have to look. I'll look that up while you talk about Morgan. Morgan. Morgan Elsbeth.
Okay. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna say this. I like the TVC Morgan better because it's cloth. Like her skirt is cloth, and so it actually moves better. And I wish he came with more than just nothing. Speck. Look here, and here's what kind of annoys me: the fact that she's a night sister. So magic, something. Give me like
lightning effects or something cool.
Yeah.
Wand or something.
As far as a figure goes, I think it's extremely cool that they made a figure of her because I don't know how many people know it, but the actress's name is Diana Inosanto, and her father is Dan Inosanto. Her godfather was Bruce Lee. And so you'll notice that callback when she's in the prison cell in the yellow jumpsuit with the black. Reminiscent
very cool.
Bruce Lee's famous outfit. And her father is kind of known as the godfather of mixed martial arts. Filipino, grew up in Stockton, California, became very close friends with Bruce Lee. I believe his first form of martial arts was Silat. And then he just, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai and this, that, and the other. And he's 85 or 86 now, and he still teaches, but he mostly teaches kids.
Yeah.
And so my kids actually used to go to him until their school workload got too heavy last year. But it's not as bad this year, so we're actually thinking about going back. And she came by once or twice, but anyway, like it's awesome to see that she's kind of carving her own path at this age, and getting a figure and the pedigree and the history that follows that, I think is really cool. Probably means absolutely nothing to 99.9% of anyone else.
But at 1% like me, it's fucking amazing. But look, this is true. Like green fire effects. We would have got the spear in that shitty 2-pack that came out last year. Put that with her. You know what?
Here's the thing. Moves, Bobby.
Yeah, cool. Thanks. Yeah, Punk. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
The green effects, I agree. Yeah, that would be. And the map spear is a good call too. Yeah.
Or you know what? Here's what they could have done. And look, I'm saying this now because memory unlocked. I was at Walmart today with Ashley, and they've got like with the Ninja Turtles 2-pack, like a battle 2-pack, like Leonardo versus Superfly. But the back cardboard is a diorama. Like they could have easily done like a diorama of like the sphere or something behind her. Like give like this character.
I mean, they even gave Red Skull a cheap cosmic cube just to give him something. Do that. I mean, to give no accessories is like,
and then
it's ludicrous.
The question is it the Black Series team's call? Is it the budget? Is it Lucasfilm saying like, no, we don't, you know, what if they said like, what if we give her the spear? And then Lucasfilm comes in and says like, no, because this isn't from Mando. So she can't, she has to.
Lucasfilm comes in, 9, you will not give her the spear. Like, oh, calm down. Wrong movie. But look.
It's all those knuckleheads combined. Blame them all.
Right? But it's one of those things where it's like, I don't like with budgeting, they've got plenty of stuff like laying around. They've got the molds already there. Like, and you know this character is going to be important because she's trying to bring us Thrawn. So to just give this figure nothing, I mean, at least like Hera has a fucking gun. Like, what? All right. I'm pissed. All right, keep moving on. Let's keep going.
Hera comes with some ass. So
okay, look, I dig the assassin droids.
Each K 87? Yeah, 87. The other one was 47, the brown one. Bobby went. All right, so HK, I don't know what happened. He got mad. HK, no. Why you mad and quitting? HK 87 droid. But go ahead, Bobby, you're back.
Yeah,
Chicago Bulls Assassin's droid.
So yeah, it's the Assassin's droid. I love the Assassin's droid. I dig these. It's not just a Stormtrooper repaint, which we've gotten a bazillion of. I like the soft goods. It's better than a plastic cape. Speck, how you feeling about these?
I think they look neat. I have seen the prior version, the 47 or whatever, a couple times at GameStop. I did have it on pre-order once upon a time and I canceled. And as cool as they are, it's going to be a clearance find for me. I just think that these could have benefited from a wash or something just to bring out those details a little more. Other than that, it's a great looking figure. Somebody will give it a wash, a black rub or something, and but give it a nice rub. Give it a nice rub.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then I don't think they'll peg warm, because it really pops on the shelf. It's an Ahsoka, it's an army builder, right? I mean, maybe for $28 at some Targets they will, so you'll be able to find it, but yeah.
All right. Let us begin the speculations. I don't know what that voice was. I don't. Sorry, y'all. I've been drinking because I was doing an NFL fantasy draft, so I just didn't stop.
It was Laszlo, not Laszlo. It was my brain just froze. Nandor.
Guillermo. Look, Merrick is that. Okay, so look, this looks fantastic. I love what we've gotten of him in the show. Travis, like you watch Rebels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Obviously, Merrick is gonna be Actually, no. It could be someone from Rebels. Sam Whitmore has been. Yeah, he has admitted that he has done stuff on Rebels. Now, is he the voice of Merrick? Is he possibly Merrick? Like, there's a shit ton of theories going out there. So, Travis, real quick, who's your theory? Who's Merrick?
So it gets crazy because right now the stunt man on this is his name is Paul Darnell. He's done a lot of stunts on a lot of cool shows, and they gave him a credit, not just a stunt credit. They gave him like a full acting credit, and I think it's got to be because it was his voice. So people think that debunks Sam Witwer. Of course, he's known as Darth Maul, but
Right.
and he's also Galen Merrick, right? So Galen Merrick, and this is Merrick. It's just spelled, one's Marrok, as you could say on that box. But then you get Galen Merrick is Marek. So it's so similar. And we're talking Galen Merrick is Star Killer from The Force Unleashed, which they finally started releasing. That's actually a PulseCon exclusive. And so the timing is kind of ironic because we've been wanting Star Killer forever, right? So we just got TVC coming out with a Star Killer, and then now we're finally getting one for Black Series. So yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Now I'm hearing some people saying this is Kanan, so there's a lot of different stuff. So one of the controversies is this. He was in all black, which looks very Knights of Ren.
Yeah.
Right. And then all of a sudden the figure is released and people are like, oh, what the hell? They botched the paint. And then look, last night on the episode, it's 1-to-1 almost, right? Like you get the rustic weathered gray going on. And I don't know what happened here from episode 1 and 2 to this.
I think that the costume, that rust is much more subtle. Because when I saw the figure released today, I was like, what the hell's all that orange? And then they were like, it's rust. And I was just like, what? And then
you can see it. It's pretty
rewatching
good.
the clips, I see it, and maybe it's how my TV is set up. But I have it set up for the HDR, and Disney Plus tells it what the color settings and profile should be. And so, it's very dark and it's very understated. That slide that you post even makes it look more prominent than the way it shows on my TV. So I didn't even notice it at first. And so then to see it on the figure, and it's just like, whoa, that is a lot of bright orange right there.
So who's wrong and who's right? And
So my only I don't know, hesitation on saying that it is Ezra is the fact that Ezra went with Thrawn at the end of season 4 with the hyperdrive whales. I can't think of what they call it now. So look, Ezra should be with Thrawn. If they can't find Thrawn, they can't find Ezra. Technically speaking. Now, could Kanan have survived the explosion, and that's why he is wearing the mask because he's scarred?
Great point.
And here's the thing. I think if it's Kanan, it affects everyone a lot more than if it's Ezra. Because if it's Kanan, that affects it affects all the rebels, but that's your leader. That's if you're Hera, that's your baby daddy, right? That's the love of your life. If you're like Sabine, that's the guy that trained you. If that is a great point. Like he could, but there would have to be a really good backstory, and I think a good reasoning of how he traversed the worlds between worlds, and then lose all his memory. Like that's like if Sam Whitmer was Kanan. Like granted, like I love Freddie Prinze Jr. I think he should be Kanan, but like if they brought him on as Kanan, like I think him being a bad guy would have a more emotional impact than if it's Ezra. That's just me.
He could reprise the role, Freddy, because of the age now.
Yeah,
It works.
The age would work.
I think that if they did that, they'd bring Freddy. I don't think they'd bring Sam Witwer, especially
Sam's
because
more
his likeness is so tied to his
Yeah.
video game persona.
You could have Sam as Star Killer whenever if they ever do like they said they were gonna do like Force Unleashed stuff, Knights of the Old Republic stuff eventually. So then you could save him for that.
But Star Killer would be what, 5 right now? No, wait, hold on. Shit, let me get my timeline straight. Because
no, it would work. It's during Darth Vader.
Right, it's when Vader. So this is after Vader. So yeah, Star Killer would be.
It's after Vader. Sorry,
It's after Vader. Yeah,
he's older. Yeah, so it works.
Wait, hold on. He has a Wolf? Really? All right, I gotta go back and rewatch the End of Rebels. Okay.
They could retcon that.
They could.
I don't think he was reincarnated. There was the one Lothwolf that said Doom, and and then Ezra was like, "What does that mean?" And he'd be like, "Doom." But I don't.
Seems like the obvious.
Yeah,
I mean that's the obvious Star Wars trope that they always do, right? I mean that's it's the Kylo Ren thing.
It is the Kylo Ren. It's the Darth Vader. It's rehabilitating. I don't know. It's just I know they have like Ezra like tied up like in a jail cell with Thrawn, on this ship, and then he's like, "Oh, Sabine, hi. We have to save Kanan." Like that's that. But I'm not Dave Filoni. All right.
There's one more rumor that it's Barris Offy who like basically framed Ahsoka for that bombing in the temple. So we can't tell from. I mean, let's look at the toy, right? You can't really make out that could still be a woman. There's no definitive thing that we don't know what sex that is, right? So it still could be.
And I think they did this on purpose, which I actually appreciate the fact that, because if they had like slendered the legs, make it look like a woman, then
yeah, that could be anybody.
Exactly, but this could be anyone.
Yeah, everyone's saying the orange Ezra. I mean, that's probably why it's so pronounced, right? Like we're seeing it pronounced, maybe. And the first two, David, why the first 2 episodes were why was it all black? Like, why was
you got me?
Like, I don't get it. Why did we see
it could also be, they shot that first episode and then said, hey, wait a minute, we need a little bit more. Or, I mean, this is just it's a low res screen grab. It's hard to kind of go in and see if maybe if that detail is there, it's just muted.
Yeah, so let me just double check that. Yep, it's Also, I mean, look, it's the first appearance of the like a main bad guy. He has to be in all black, and then you can change it up later on. And
he changed his outfit in the middle of a mission. He's Batman. All right, cool. I don't know. Whatever.
He had to change it up. He had to look good.
It's a weird error to have him in all black and then to go like we saw with the weathered.
As I said, like this screen capture has definitely been somebody went in and lifted the levels and all that because it was much darker on the actual episode. If my memory is correct, because I really had to like look to see the hints of the rust and the orange there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think Merrick is just if you find it, snag it. Is I don't think he'll last very long on the shelves.
I think it'll sell. Yeah, it's cool.
He will not pay more. Look, even if you know nothing about the character, even if you know nothing about Star Wars, that's a badass looking figure, right?
Yeah, that's the same. I huge Star Wars nerd. Never really played Knights of the Old Republic. I tried and I just get into it, but I bought the Darth Malak, and I have the Darth Malgus on pre-order, and I did get both versions of the Darth Revan. Because they look badass, like they're
Oh, did you guys? I'm sorry, Bobby. Were you able to snag Malgus on the Disney store with free shipping? It's actually out, available now instead of October.
Oh,
Were you aware of that?
I was not. I'm waiting till October. Just because I'm going to a con this weekend, and gonna get some things signed, so I gotta hold off. But yeah, Moody, didn't you say that someone was getting released in September? A figure was coming out beginning of September. Was it G.I. Joe or was it Star Wars?
Well, the Valkyries have shipped.
Yes.
The Cobra Eels have shipped.
Yes.
Snow Job got pushed up to September
we go.
11th.
Bobby
okay.
just wanted you to say
There you
Snow Job.
I did. I also forgot, but yeah, I just love saying Snow Job because it's a ridiculous name. It's just
If we just do this and talk about GI Joes, everybody will come back.
right. Like
That's
magically,
what
we'll have like 30 people like no, like you hand job, you Snow Job, you foot job, get out there, make us money.
So there's a mural look at all the figures because someone obviously in China already has all of them, even though they just revealed them on the fan stream. Don't you love that? What's going on right now with toys is that people have them before the fan streams, before the reveals.
Man, I do love those murals.
That looks cool, right?
Yeah.
And actually, now that we look at Ezra, I think I'm onto something with they just made a figure that combines like the would-be actor's likeness with the cartoon. Doesn't look anything. I mean, it does look like that, but it's not one-to-one like the others.
Yeah,
No,
does not look like the actor, in my opinion.
It looks, I mean, it looks a little, but it doesn't have the striking likeness that, because, let's be honest, with the photo reel, I mean, that Morgan face sculpt is amazing, right? So, like, they're nailing the likenesses.
Yeah, the Morgan looks amazing. Being that Ezra looks garbage. Just saying, like that Ezra face sculpt.
Well, it's not. I think it'll be perfect for something else. It won't be good for Ezra though. So
I'll tell you what, Trev. Here's how I feel about that Ezra face sculpt in the figure. In the mural, looks great. In on the plastic figure, looks like the plastic version of the Flash movie. Hot garbage. That's right.
Hey, that's how I feel about. I mean, I don't think the Sabine head sculpt is garbage, but look at that mural. Look how, man, she's fucking hot. She is fucking beautiful. What did they do? They tomboyed the fucking shit out of that figure. I mean, look at that. I need a custom face sculpt that looks like that, so I can have a real.
Travis is gonna take the show and like go back to the Sabine slide and spend some time with little Trav.
I'm doing that after we get off the air.
I know you are. Look, Brian makes a good point here. Can't wait for Balin and the Shin figures. That Balin figure, the minute it gets announced, I am getting that figure.
Yeah. Oh, you already got. I was just about to mention that.
Look at that. So there's your Balin's coming. I mean, according to Yak Face, right? So we got the shoulder pad right there. It's really subtle and small, but great detective work if that's the case. I mean, that could be anything, but it's a pretty good guess.
I mean, that's a fantastic guess. I thought it was just like a background. No, that
I didn't even notice it. I mean, to be honest.
Yeah, his figure will be a must buy. I'm not so sold on the Shin character yet.
She's but like look, Ray Stevenson is killing this. Like when he said like it'd be a shame to kill Ahsoka, like oh man, like that he realizes like the potential of her. Like oh, so like he's just killing it. Look for all the cons that people have had about Ahsoka. I think there's a lot more. The pros outweigh the cons. For me, like Ray Stevenson's Balin is a huge reason for that. And then let's just be real here. Ahsoka has been like killing it. Look, I mean,
So
That looks more
So
like
this-
a young Count Dooku to me.
Yeah.
For that custom sculpt.
but well, look at this. This pretty good face sculpt. Look,
it's not bad. I like the soft goods. I think that looks good.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is is that Frederick's figures? Because I think I've seen another like Center Point or whatever that's also sort of been working on their own.
I don't know.
But like the bags under the eyes don't work for me on that.
No.
And the
Oh yeah, it looks.
I mean, look, they're there though. They're right there.
there's something off with that. It's the nose, the bags are maybe a little too prominent. I don't know. It's
I
not.
think it's a pretty damn good custom. It's not. You're never gonna get like what Hasbro does with the photo reel, right? But I mean, for someone to
This is
paint
a
this
great
up, it's
custom.
pretty good.
No question about this. Is a great custom.
Yeah, no, for custom work, it's awesome. But
Yeah.
there are some 3D guys out there with the resin and like some of the stuff they've done, especially for the Tamura Morrison, like the various clone heads and the Boba heads and the
Oh yeah.
photo
Yeah.
accuracy of them, and it's just like, oh, but I'm not spending $80 for a head.
No. Nope.
That's why I never got that Pedro Pascal one. That's like awesome, but it's way out in like I don't know where, Indonesia, I think it comes from. I'm like, yeah, and it costs like 80. Once you have to pay the shipping, it's literally like 65 to $80 for a head sculpt.
No, thank you.
They'll eventually have to get it right.
Yeah.
Or never. Or never.
What else did you do, Travis? Let's see here.
The waves. We have 4 now. We have 4 outstanding waves of Black Series figures. This is just, it's a lot of pre-orders. This is how G.I. Joe fans used to feel. We don't have that many outstanding pre-orders for Joes compared to Star Wars now.
Like who? That's Mando with the darksaber. I'll probably get that. I know I'll get the Cad Bane. Who are the other two? Oh, the Tusken Raider. Who's the one on the bottom left or bottom right?
The Pike soldier.
Who wouldn't pay $80 for it? This is such a slutty show we have tonight. I'll tell you.
I was waiting for a comment on that. I left the door.
I
open.
was.
Yeah.
We
no
both
surprises from K-Wish.
From this wave, I pre-ordered the Mando for the new sculpt. Although sometimes I debate about canceling it and waiting for a sale because you know that they're going to produce a billion of these and they will go on sale.
Yep.
And then the rest, like Cad Bane, I love the character. I love the Old West vibe of him, but I will wait for a sale on that. And then the Tusken Raider is awesome.
Yep.
But again, like he's $10 awesome.
Yes.
Is that the Tusken Chieftain?
I don't think that's the Chieftain.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Maybe it is with the necklace. I can't remember.
No, it is. Look at the face sculpt and the necklace. That's the Chieftain.
Okay.
Chieftain. And
the
Pike,
Chieftain. Gotcha.
I don't care about the Pike. Like
yeah. Nope, don't care. All right.
I think Mando's the only one I got on pre-order, and the others I'll get eventually, but for a sale, yeah. Or if they don't go on sale.
I don't think I pre-ordered them. I didn't pre-order any of these either.
I got I guess maybe I have 6 outstanding pre-orders. I did get the Phase 2 Clone Trooper.
Oh, did you? I did not.
Yeah. Because I just had a feeling, and of course that one's been sold out. I know it'll come back in stock. I debated about the Ahsoka because I don't have any of the animated Ahsokas. I just have the one Rosario Dawson. But I ultimately decided not to. I do want the Return of the Jedi Chewie because of the diorama that I've been waffling on for the past year. Travis has seen a lot of the progress on it. And I do think I want that Omega because it's a much superior version to the original version.
I might have pre-ordered that Omega. I think I have 3 then. I got that Omega.
Omega.
Yeah. I think I might have pre-ordered that Bad Batch, maybe.
Got the you don't ask me. You just go right to Dave and move on.
Yeah, I don't care about you, Travis. Come on now. What did you pre-order, dude?
I have the Padawan Ahsoka pre-ordered because it actually sold out on it. What I'll usually do is pre-order everything I really want, just in case it sells out. And it's sold out, so I'm like, I'd rather wait for a sale, but if it's sold out, it's sold out, right? And the Magna Guard, the one I'm in the middle of
Yeah.
at the top row, I definitely got that Magna Guard. That is sold out as well. I don't think I have the Phase 4 ordered though. I'm looking. No, I don't. So it's probably missed out on that. I'll eventually get it. And then Wicket. I mean, I have Wicket carded, but I guess I'll get the mural eventually and leave him carded. Omega, that'll be on clearance, and so will Chewie because it's 9,000.
Yeah, because I've actually seen Chewie in the archive line at Ollie's, actually, shockingly enough.
Wow.
Yeah, which pissed me off because I bought him for like $20. I'm like, God damn it.
I got him for, I think, $8 Target clearance.
Really?
Either, yeah.
LA's Target's clearance much better than Houston's. I did pre-order that. What?
Pre-Vizsla.
Pre-Vizsla. Thank you. I did get Pre-Vizsla. I did that R2.
I did the R2. I didn't do Pre-Vizsla. There was a point where it didn't matter if there was a Mando helmet. I was ordering it, but I haven't pre-ordered the Mando, the commander from season 3. I don't remember what they call him, but the black gentleman that was commanding the ship. With, his pre-orders out, and I didn't pre-order Pre-Vizsla. Actually, I think the big reason why I didn't go for Pre-Vizsla is I think the body is reuse from the Walmart exclusive Mandos.
Yes.
And those are terrible bodies. They don't freaking stand up. They're heavy in the wrong places. And so it's just, if I see him, maybe. If I see him on sale, possibly. But
I gotcha. I just have to get X Wolves. I passed them up like 3 times. I don't know why I haven't got them yet.
I'm kind of shocked that Pre-Vizsla isn't sold out. I just looked on Amazon; it's still available because it has that really cool looking helmet, though. You know what I mean? And plus it has the what is it? The saber,
the dark saber.
So yeah. So the dark. I mean, it is it's so much reuse, right? Of course.
Yeah, because I think we just showed that. We just showed. I mean, Mando's got it.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I guess you don't need it if you get Mando, but the helmet is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, he looks awesome.
Plus, he has a good face sculpt too. Like underneath the helmet. So.
I mean, I think I don't know why Star Wars is so backlogged, but more the Black Series.
There's the guy. That's the one that I didn't. I don't remember what his official title is.
I remember those two being. And which droid is that?
That's R5.
R5.
That's it.
Now I'm gonna go on a complaint. We have all these outstanding figures. We have all these new pre-orders coming, and I said it in the chat earlier. Like, I'm still pissed at Hasbro that they never finished out Book of Boba. We got all these versions of Boba. We have the original Boba. We have the Tusken Raider Boba. We have the
Taking a shit Boba. We've got taking a bath Boba.
We have the Walmart exclusive, the damaged armor Boba. Then we have the re-armored Boba, but we don't have the final version Book of Boba with the pants and everything. We got them in the vintage collection, but they didn't do a Black Series version. The last version we have of that, he still has those baggy MC Hammer pants.
Can't touch this. Yeah, I don't know what Hasbro is doing with Star Wars. I don't. Because I get logistics and distribution. I understand that. And Lenny said so much in April about G.I. Joes. However, we're getting G.I. Joes like you get a G.I. Joe and you get like Hasbro's Oprah now with G.I. Joes. Like everything is coming out. But with Star Wars, like I'm pretty sure they use the same factory.
I wonder if it's a priority thing, and I also wonder if it's a sales thing, because it seems like Marvel Legends and Black Series have both kind of started to take a bit of a back seat, and we've also seen the popularity of GI Joe massively increase.
Right.
And so it could just be a situation of the Joe team is getting their turn at the factory and they're cranking out stuff as much as they can, and now Black Series guys kind of have to wait until it's their cue.
I mean, that's an interesting thought. Actually, it's not bad. But I sent that video about how Hasbro is projecting their Q4. They're going to have to take a small loss, and they're blaming Dungeons and Dragons, which stupid. But like, are the figures just peg warming? Yeah. Do I want them? I do. But like, I thought the movie was absolutely like fantastic. I thought the movie was going to be stupid, and
Great
it was
movie.
Huh?
Great movie. I don't want the figures. I want the creatures. I've started seeing the owl bear on the shelves, and I'm like, man, if I can find that one on clearance, I'll grab it. But
and you just said it right there, if we can find it on clearance, because look, right now, like, okay, so as you may not know, I do have my master's in political science, and one of those was history, and the fact that right now we are actually experiencing a greater depression than the depression. So when you have these companies going, oh, why aren't people buying these $25, $35 figures? Well, bro, like, let me keep the light on first, and then let me go. And I think Travis, we talked about this before. COVID was a big, like, everyone had money because we couldn't spend on anything else. And so, like, oh, they have excess money. Like, no, we don't have excess money. We just couldn't go anywhere. Now we can do things again. I think Hasbro kind of took the wrong approach to it. And so instead of going, hey, you know what? Let's make these figures. Because, Travis, thanks, Mel. Travis, you showed a video on the fact that, like, adults are ones buying toys now. Like, kids aren't really buying toys. Fair. But adults are the ones that have the bills. Rent, electric, food, gas. After all that, then what little discretionary spending you have left, you've got to, like, make choices. And I think Hasbro is going, oh, like, they want all these figures for $30. No, I'll get them if they're 15. I'll get them if they're 10. But I think Hasbro has those in charge are really missed the fucking point. Are just not seeing eye to eye with the collectors.
Here's my take on it. So originally, right, you got Disney stuff, so that you have constant media. So it's like, of course, you would want your Marvel and your Star Wars made because they have Disney Plus, they have movies coming out, blah blah blah. G.I. Joe has nothing, right? It has Snake Eyes movie, whatever, nothing else, just retro old stuff. But then they make more money selling G.I. Joes. They make more money selling Transformers, and in Transformers they have to make a cut too. But Hasbro owns all of G.I. Joe.
Yep.
So that's why we know this. We've talked about it at fucking length. For $25, you got 12 accessories, 5, 6, 7, 8 accessories with a figure. Wow, we're getting Morgan Lisbeth with nothing. So of course people are gonna clear. We're talking about clearance waiting this whole show. And we love Star Wars, but it's like we're not getting the value. A lot of it's repaints. You don't need 12 Ahsokas. Where G.I. Joe has the luxury of being classified, being 3-4 years old. 3 years old, it can just pump out new characters, made up characters like we're talking about now, mole rats and wolf spiders, where Star Wars is based on properties. You know what I'm saying? If people aren't digging a show, they're not going to watch it. And they already have their Luke, Vader, Leia, like the ones they essential. So they're not really like buying the full show, where G.I. Joe is like, yeah, they'll take anything right now because you're getting value. It could be a troop builder. It could be a made up nothing crazy character like we're seeing, because people love the accessories. They love the army building. They love the customizing, where people aren't really doing that with the other lines. And so now they're seeing the sales, like you said. Maybe it's G.I. Joe's time, where it's just like they're just going to get pushed to the factory front because they are selling and they are making more money per figure selling G.I. Joes.
And something that KJ has brought up, and he's rightfully so in saying this, licensing. Like, I get that you know, they have to pay the licensing fee, so that does increase things. But you know, that's a good point too. Like, look, if you're a kid, you know, are you watching Ahsoka? Maybe, depending on how old you are. But if you're watching Ahsoka, you know, do you want that Sabine? Do you want Ahsoka, or do you just like want to watch the cool fight scene?
You want the video game that goes with the show. They want the games, the mobile games, the whatever, the iPhone app, the apps.
Yep.
It's all electric with kids. I mean, not 100%. I mean, if you're a toy collector and you have children, maybe. I mean, David, your kids don't mess with toys at all, right? And you're a toy collector, right?
My one son he's big into Transformers. He's like, they kind of seem like they were done with it, and I fucking took 3 days packing them up and making sure each one had the right accessories and like putting them in a bin all nice and neat, and well, 3 bins, and putting it away, and then like all of a sudden he got obsessed with it again, and it's a mess and everywhere, and yeah, he watched like the YouTube videos on the history of the characters and how to transform them, and yeah, he's.
Well, that's like our friend, our old host, Ryan Sweeney. Him and his kids share that WWE Elite bond and AEW. They collect the wrestling figures together. But what I'm saying is, a lot of kids now, if their parents aren't toy collectors, unless they're, I mean, you're always going to buy toys for kids, like 4 years old, 5 years old. But once they get to like that 6, 7, 8, and if their parents are not into this world, they're not. I mean, they're probably not buying toys for their kids. Like, really not. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, I'm into this world, and I bought more than I probably should have, even though they somewhat aged out. But like, you know, my other son, you know, he just wants to play Call of Duty all day.
There you go.
Right?
You know, it's the devices, it's not the figures, and that's what kids have been brought up for in this past generation, is phones and iPads and Switches and PlayStations.
And also, I mean, let's be honest here. When we go to buy toys, who's in the aisle?
Adults.
It's adults.
50-year-old crackhead dudes.
Yeah.
Trying to scalp.
Yeah. And again, like sometimes they're, you know, I have seen, you know, I've been that awkward person to move kids around. Like, excuse me, I want this, right? No, I haven't. Maybe I have. I don't know. But
Bobby,
listen, he doesn't appreciate like I do. That you can fuck off, fuck the kids. No, look, here's the thing. Usually, and they're usually searching, like looking at like Fortnite or something like that. But the thing is, like, the kids aren't looking at the things we are. They're not looking at the Marvel Legends. They're not looking at He-Man. They're not looking at J.J. They're looking at kid stuff. And so, like, it's one of those things where, like, I hate the fact that we're going to wait for these on clearance, but being what it is right now, you know, it's tough. It's tough, and so yeah, like Black Series, it's a clearance line for me now. As much as I'm like, oh, I want that. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's fantastic. Like, here's the thing. Last night watching this stream, I was like, oh, that's badass. I'm pre-order. I'm like, I'm gonna pre-order that, pre-order that, pre-order that. And then I woke up, you know, this morning going, I'll wait for that for clearance. I'll wait for that. I'll wait for that. I'll wait for that. I will wait. I will wait.
So the pre-orders went on sale today at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. I didn't pre-order anything. I mean, I don't know. I think eventually it's just I'm kind of with David. Like, it's one of those, we're going to target hunt for Street Fighter and G.I. Joe figures, and we're going to come home with a Black Series just so we have something to show on Instagram, because we went hunting and didn't find what we really wanted. Yeah, it's a consolation prize. That's what Marvel Legends and Black Series is. And if I didn't move into this place where I have a man cave now, I'd be out of both lines completely. But thankfully I have room to show all them off. So I'm still in the game.
Well, it's like today again at Walmart. I was like, they had some really. I'm like, oh, that's cool. They had like new stuff coming in, but the stuff that was new for here, like y'all have had that for like 4 or 5 months. I'm like, what? Logistics, distribution. It's
funny how we. No, say that, Dave.
I said nobody wants to go to Texas. Those trucks all kind of stop at the border and have to hem and
They're like, we don't want to get shot.
No.
All right, let's finish this off, assholes.
Oh wait, we got one more comment here.
Oh, yes. Hold on. Let me pull this. Once more, if they load the perspective, that is 100% true.
I'm also curious. I really want to see cost breakdowns. I want to know if they even can go back down. I have a friend whose wife was a toy designer at Hasbro, and she did the school stuff, and she was actually the designer on the Yam DeLorean, Mr. Potato Head.
Oh,
and was one of the designers, like they, you know, in this purge, like the GI Joe designer Chris and all that, she was let go. And she had been saying, she's like, I'd been talking to management for years saying that they needed to increase the prices because, you know, like her team wasn't getting what they needed for resources to really do what they were being asked to do. And that's preschool stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm curious how that translates to the other teams. I'm curious how that does translate to cost overall. You know, like a good example is the Ninja Turtle sewer layer that's on pre-order right now through NECA.
Yeah.
$300 for 3 walls and a floor.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it and it's molded plastic and, you know, it comes with some of the accessories, but compared to the van, which was 275 or 225, I don't remember.
Yep.
It feels like the van had a lot more engineering, but then when I keep going back and looking at the pictures of the sewer layer, there's a lot of art detail, a lot of paint app and whatnot. And so I'd really be curious to see the breakdown.
Right. So
my guess. Oh, go ahead, Bobby. I'll let you go first.
Well, so here's the thing: is that what is kind of annoying, and Mel and KJ will you know can back me up on this, is the fact that I would like with you. I would be interested to see the cost breakdown, especially with the cost of plastic, because the oil that does get put into making that, it's just like snake eating itself, is in the fact that, you know, they are getting record profits. Like the oil, like the gas prices are insanely high right now. Yes. But if you ask Exxon, Chevron, etc., they're making record profits, and that again hurts us because we can't get what we want because they're charging so much for that. So now, like that NECA sewer, like I would much rather, no lie, I'd much rather get that Mutant Mayhem sewer playset for $80. That's fantastic. It's like okay, it's $80. I get it. Like my Graceful was 75. It'll go on sale, clearance, but that's 80, and you get like 3. That NECA, and I get NECA is a boutique, like Super 7. I get that it's boutique, but whatever. But the cost of that plastic is killing us, and will hurt Hasbro, because they're always saying like, hey, well, what can we put the blame on? Or we'll blame Dungeons and Dragons, because really good movie, really fun movie. The figures, no one really asked for this figure, but fun, whatever. But they're looking, instead of going, oh, why is my tire flat? Could it be the nail that I ran over? No, I want to blame that person over there that's like mowing their yard. I don't know why, but they're the problem. No, you ran over the nail. You saw the nail in the street, you saw it coming, and you ran over it. Like I feel that Hasbro, whoever is in charge of Hasbro, is going to have to really evaluate, and they won't, but they have to really evaluate what they are doing. And yes.
So I was gonna say, well, I have the perfect people to ask in a few weeks, because I'll be working Mattel Toy Fair, and that's Mattel and not Hasbro. But I'm pretty sure I know the answer. They're gonna say no, and they're gonna say that instead of lowering the price, I guess their numbers will prove, or whatever, is that they'll still have a loyal enough base to buy at full price, then them buying on clearance and buying at Ollie's, Ross, TJ Maxx, blah, blah, picks up the slack from everything else. Like that is the sale price,
You
is
could be
getting it
100% right.
on clearance, getting it on sale, and whatever. And then of course, Entertainment Earth, they buy, in Big Bad Toy Store, they buy everything in bulk, so they get the discount. But for them to lower it at all, they lose. They lose. They don't make anything. Like their only profit is the fact that they buy in bulk, right? So you know what I mean. So there's so many, there's so many things I hope to learn about this, because this is a great conversation. I'm going to save here and ask some people, but I'm pretty sure that's just what the answer is that.
Honestly, Trav, you could be 100% right on that. You could be 100% right on that. So I'd be interested to hear what you learn. And KJ's right here. We've had Black Series for nearly a decade. We
talked about that earlier. We said, instead of buying your fifth Ahsoka, who isn't that much different than the first, I'm talking Rosario, the beautiful lady to our left, that we've getting a fifth version of her, right? Because there's couple two packs that are in it. It's literally the same character. There's a couple paint apps that are different. Maybe a lightsaber is a tint here and there, but it's almost the same thing. Instead, even getting a Crimson Alley Viper is still a lot different than an Alley Viper compared to a repurposed Ahsoka. You know what I mean? And that's the difference between this G.I. Joe line. And they're innovating, where they don't have the luxury, the Star Wars people, to create the characters. They have to base it on the show, and the timing is on the show. Everything is tied into media. And now it's funny because they thought they had the benefit of that. Like, oh, we have movies, we have shows, we're gonna sell. And G.I. Joe doesn't have anything. They got some comics coming out, and they're killing it, right? Based on just being able to be innovative and creative. And that's what's funny is, and we can stop right there, but this is what this strike is all about. It's like we're cutting down people who are creative, who have these brilliant minds to innovate, and it sells, rather than going for the obvious thing, which is what the Disney stuff is.
Right, and I'll give Mel her flowers here, because this goes to the strike. Like, you have Bob Iger saying we can't pay these writers and actors what they're asking, but Disney alone in Q2 made $22 billion, and the strike is asking for like everyone $300 million for everyone. An extra, like literally Disney could pay that. Disney could end the strike with a percentage, with like 0.5% of what they made in Q2. Like,
and it wouldn't be Disney themselves, because they would be splitting it amongst
7.
But don't get me started on that, because I'm the one that's been out of work since May.
So. Exactly, and that's where and that's one of those things where it's like, driving, because the one thing I've got right now work wise is driving all the time. I've had to explain to a few people like why the strike is a good thing, and at the end they're like, I didn't realize that. I'm like, yes, because everyone is getting fucked. All right, let's get back on to.
Let's get fucked with these Black Series pipeline figures.
Fuck these. Okay.
Moma Nadon, I think, was a kind of a given, especially. So I did get the Doc Andor exclusive.
Okay.
Disney store.
And if you've watched Robo's review of him on Fwoosh, where he takes all the robes and the plastic pieces off and everything, I mean, you're just set up for a Moma Nadon. It's pretty obvious reuse.
Yeah. And then the R5-4 and pit droids, Trav, like, they're cool.
I was just gonna say, from MoMA, it's just if you have a Cantina set up with the band and all the other characters, then it's great. Otherwise, you don't need it. And this is obviously the pit droids is that's kind of. I'm sad that this is pipeline now, because this is kind of like they were so fun, right, in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And now we're kind of getting this. It's like, oh, now you want to. Even this is a pipeline reveal. You could have pipeline revealed this a year ago. So it's just very late.
Well, Trev, sorry, Dave, hold on one second. Trev, you mentioned something a minute ago where it's like, you're trying to put these figures in, you would think that like, oh, Disney has a show coming out. Okay, let's get the figures out. But like, when did Cad Bane get shot in Boba? It was like what, last year and a half ago? I've lost track of all time now because of time does not exist. But when did Cad Bane get like killed? Was that last year or a year before?
He got killed. Last year.
Okay, so it's been a year, and granted, it's part of the 4 waves that we're still waiting on. But like, the whole point of having these shows is to sell toys along with it. Why would you?
Instead, the pre-orders come out during the show, and the problem is, by the time you get the figure, you don't care anymore, and that's why people are clearance waiting, because they don't. People remember the pre-order thing was crazy during the COVID. It was like a hot thing to do. I can't wait to pre-order because it was fun. Waking up every day, you had a long list of 100 figures. You had the dates. You had your Excel spreadsheets. I remember Vlad, KJ, you, we all had in Dave's story. We had all these long, fun cards. Oh, look how many pre-orders we got. We don't want to fucking pre-order shit anymore. We don't want pre-order. This is why people are buying shit overseas and paying 20, 30 extra bucks, because we don't want to deal with Walmart. We don't want to deal with Target charging our fucking account every day, getting shit canceled and like keeping track. We don't want pre-orders. So when you come out with pre-orders for Ahsoka and then they're not gonna come out till way after the show, way after we don't give a fuck, that's why people are clearance waiting and waiting for sales, because it's not fun to pre-order anymore. It just isn't.
No. And part of that is the secrecy.
Yes.
You know, and I understand that. And so it's like, it's
sure. Yeah, you don't want it leaked. I agree.
Fighting that battle. Yeah.
To that point, here's why I don't understand, like, why there's there's not enough cohesion here. When did we get the trailer for Ahsoka? 4 months ago? 5 months ago? Last year at Comic-Con? We knew Sabine was going to be in it. We knew Ahsoka. We knew Ezra. Like, you're going to have certain figures ready. You should have these figures ready to go. And like, not all. Like, okay, you know, we're not going to get, you know, the Merrick. Fine. We didn't see him in the but you have them released with the trailer.
It was 4 months ago.
Okay, 4 months ago. Have this 4 months ago, and then guess what? 5 months after, we get the figures.
You could even do like blurry stuff in front of spoilers, but say like, just like, there's got to be a way to market some of these things without spoiling everything. I mean, granted, there's some spoilers in this anyway, right? They've been spoiling. Toys have been spoiling stuff for a while, so you could say at the beginning of the show, hey, this may contain show spoilers, but we want to make sure that you pre-order, so by the time the show comes out, you may have your figures or something, and if people don't want the spoilers, they can buy them in the store when they come out. You know,
well, the other thing that I'm curious if they're worried about is timing. So, you know, retailers like Target and Walmart, you've got minimum wage employees stocking the shelves. So how many times have you gone to Target and found something on the shelf and been like, oh, holy crap, that's not supposed to come out for 3 months, and you go to grab it and then it's register locked.
Yep.
And part of that falls on Hasbro or whoever as well, because it was packed in the same wave as stuff that does currently go on the shelf. And so, you know, how's the employee supposed to know that these 2 figures, in this case of 8, aren't supposed to be released for 3 months? Or you run into the issue, the Snake Eyes movie or the Ghostbusters action figures, you know, because of delays, because of COVID, because of whatever, those movies' release dates got pushed, but the figures were already on the trucks and sitting on the pegs months and months and months before you actually had the media to go with them.
Yeah.
And so it's the same thing you're talking about, but in reverse.
Yes.
Wasn't there wasn't there a lot of MCU figures that came out first? So Shang-Chi, Doctor Strange, Thor, Love and Thunder, maybe? There were figure lines that came out. Some of them came out before the movie, so they essentially spoiled some things. I mean, you were in the marketing, it was like part of the marketing. So that's maybe that's what you do, is just the figure should be just part of the marketing for the show for the 4 months before it comes out, instead of, hey, pre-order while the show's going on, and then by the time you get it, you're not going to give a shit.
You'll get it in like, a year. But look at I remember Multiverse of Madness had a scene spoiled by Lego.
Yeah.
Lego, like, fuck it. We don't give a shit. We're putting our stuff out there. If you can't keep up, that's not our problem. Our job is done. But the problem is, and like, you're gonna pre-order now. Episode 3 just dropped. Like, look at these cool figures. They're coming out in half a year. Cool. So we're gonna spend half a year after the show ended. We'll get figures overpriced. Nothing comes with it. And look, I get licensing. I get that. I understand that. But you can still put cheap shit in with the figure to at least make me feel less dirty for spending so much money on a figure.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Just one last thing before we move on. So dealing with WWE, some of the benefits is it's very retro focused, and so while they release new looks for characters that are on Raw and SmackDown or whatever, those aren't always the hot sellers. And so yes, you still have to wait because WWE has full control of that, as far as like, and they might occasionally give Mattel a rub as far as like, okay, this is coming out, but most of the time it's kept to the chest. And Mattel, I've talked to Steve and Bill a million times, they don't know a lot of times, and they like that because they're fans of the shows too, so they'd rather not be spoiled. But those aren't always the highest. The highest sellers are the old school characters anyway.
Yeah.
So they have that benefit of most of your high sellers are The Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker, where they're evergreen. You can come out with those and have outfits from SummerSlam 2000, and it's going to sell better than someone who was on Raw this week. People still want those, but the number of people who want the active characters is so small. That's why they kind of get away with that. And their turnaround is pretty fast anyway, because you're just doing outfits. You don't really have to pay for new molds when you have the characters. You're just doing looks. It's like Barbie.
I was about to say, look, you give me a Stone Cold with his jean shorts, and you give me a Stone Cold with like his jeans. I'm like, I've got both. It's a new hat. But
they have that benefit where Hasbro doesn't have that benefit with the Disney stuff, because it has to stay relevant in that time. It almost can't be too early or too late. It's not an easy thing. We're angry and stuff, but it's a difficult thing. And then then Hasbro has to deal with Disney, which is the devil, and then you have to deal with Lucasfilm, which is the Satan. So it's like you got to deal with a lot of stuff, man.
Like Hasbro has to deal with Disney, Lucasfilms, and shareholders, all of which have no fucking idea what they're doing.
Right.
Okay. Moving on before I get angry. All right.
This is the coolest thing of the whole stream, in my opinion. I actually love this. I don't know if I want another helmet, but the Sabine helmet's cool. I think it's cool.
So here's the thing with me and helmets. I have a very large head. It's phrasing. I have a large head. And I like literally when I played football, they'd have to like special order a helmet for me. Right? Because I had just like a giant, because I'm so smart, my head is so damn big. I can never fit any of these helmets on me. It's always frustrating. I tried putting the Spidey helmet on, didn't fit. Ant-Man didn't fit. These don't fit normal size heads. I have a normal head, people. This is dope. I love this.
It's sick.
Like, look at that.
I think it's dope. It's very cool.
I will say that I also appreciate the fact that unlike the prototype Boba Fett white helmet, they actually put work into the decals.
Yeah, it's nice.
Oh,
we could fly through TVC. What's TVC, Tom?
Oh,
3 figures.
Let's just say
That's
once again, smaller gun, fine. Nothing. Finish with a cloth skirt.
She's 0 for 3. Morgan Lisbeth is 0 for 3 with accessories. Retro, TVC and Black Series, no accessories. At
I'll
least
get
it's soft goods on TVC. Pretty
And
good.
you know what?
That's a good figure right there.
It's a great figure, and you know what? Here's the thing. I'm glad that they're not gonna do some like bullshit. Like we're like, oh, this is like $25-$30 for a deluxe. No, shut up. That's great. Mel, you should buy it. And you should buy that helmet.
Oh, so look at this. Look at the timing of this comment. They should have made the Sabine helmet huge like the TVC character. And there you go. There's the controversy with look at that helmet on the bottom left.
Yeah. I dig it. I dig it.
No, you dig it. It's so big.
But yes, but do you want like a big helmet or you want a tiny head?
No, it's too big. That's the problem. Look at the other helmets. They need to be uniform, man. They like just in the I don't know what happened there. They didn't measure it correctly or something. And the factory botched it or something. There was a miscommunication with there. Look at that middle picture. How ridiculous! It looks like a bobblehead. Bobby, it's been a long show, but look at wipe your eyes, man.
What's up?
I said wipe your eyes, man. Look at the top row, middle row. It's a kind of a trick, but look at the bottom row, the massive helmet compared to the other.
Fair. That's a massive helmet. Yes,
it's so oversized, and
yes.
So I guess Emily, Emily from the Black Series, not Black Series, from the Star Wars team, said that they're gonna move forward, think about making like swappable heads and helmets or something like that. I don't know. It was kind of vague, so I don't know if they're just gonna come out with a pack to fix this or something.
I like the fact that you can take helmets off. I like that. And real quick, KJ, the Lucas team should be able to release figures if revealed in trailers. Like I said, 100%. Maybe withhold names if need be. But yes,
100%.
I'll
go to David's comment.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I like having the helmet come off and on. I don't know. That's just me. All right. Moving on. Vintage collection pipelines. Once again, Chopper, cool. R2-D2, cool. Jango Fett, Rex, Vader, again. Stormtrooper, again. Luke, X-Wing pilot, and then Princess Leia from A New Hope.
Well, it's again. No, you mean again from Black Series, but these are all first for TVC.
These are all first from TVC.
Jango is a deluxe.
Oh, he is? I missed that. Okay. I will 100% get Chopper. Oh no, wait. That Vader. Is that animated Vader? Or is that Empire Vader?
It's New Hope Vader, I believe.
New Hope Vader.
New Hope. That's why we're getting New Hope Princess Leia. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to know what a piolet is.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't. They didn't check the sizes for the helmets, and they didn't check the spelling for the pilot.
Oh my god, I didn't even miss that. I didn't even catch that.
All right, here Chaz says Emily said the default going forward in TVC will be swappable heads. Right, a face head helmet said that's what could have swore that's what I said, but yeah, cool.
My thought is, why would you put Sabine's helmet on a different character?
I think that's what Emily was saying.
Man thinking and not little kid world building thinking.
Yeah,
right, exactly. Yep.
And I agree with David here. Leia should have been the TVC 300, not Hera. Yeah, like I think there should have been some thought put into this one, but I'll give that.
It was probably Lucasfilm wanting to push Hera to the moon.
True, but I'll probably get most of these when I see them in person.
Has there ever been a really good New Hope Leia?
So actually, I'm glad I haven't opened.
Mine's great. The one I have is awesome.
I got the archive one, but I got it because it was $8. Otherwise, I would have been happy to let that one sit on the shelf.
So I got her for $7. I'm not disappointed with this.
I can't see you.
Yeah, hold on. Let's go here. Like, I'm not mad.
Yeah, that's the archive one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not terrible, but it's a very bland figure to begin with.
I think it's fantastic. This is the archive. Yeah. They did a great job. That's
I
awesome.
don't have an issue with it.
So now you're gonna get a TVC one of these. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, TVC people have been around long. They don't have one of these yet.
Honestly, I won't lie. I think sometimes TVC actually does better than lightsabers.
Yeah. So
Just
I still have the power of the Force man Leia.
I think I still have her actually somewhere. I think I do. All right. Let's keep going. Pipeline reveals Jedi Revan and HK-47. I will get that Jedi Revan. That's amazing. And soft. I know it's gonna be soft goods. Purple lightsaber. 100%. I want pod racers.
I don't touch. I mean, I very minimally touch vintage collection, and it's usually Boba Fett's. I did get Mando, and I did get I can't believe
Shut up, KJ. Goddamn. Maybe we're old here.
right, it was 99. Yeah. Did you get the Naboo Starfighter? I'm really excited for that. I think it looks really cool.
I did not.
Yeah.
No.
That was I don't have any TVC other than Boba Fett's Starship, Slave One, but yeah.
I get TVC more than Black Series really because I got the Obi-Wan, I got the Darth Vader. They're for what you pay for and the brilliant face sculpts.
For the size is good.
Yeah, it's just
you can world build too with vehicles, which is so important to a brand called Star Wars.
Yeah.
So not being able to do that in 1/12 scale is tough. So all right, what else we got? Cool. Oh, the controversy.
So the controversy. So the
left a long time ago, but we got his meme finally.
Right, finally. Look, HasLab Ghost, it made tier 1, cool. We get Ezra. Tier 2 and 3 is still Kanan and Zeb. But they said that if it makes all 3 tiers, you'll be lucky enough to buy Sabine and Chopper. If I just spend $300, no, how much was the Ghost?
400.
400. If I just spent $400,
yeah.
You are seriously asking me to spend another $20? Really?
Trav? I think you'd be lucky if it's $20.
It's $500. Sorry, we were both wrong. The Ghost is $500. Okay, $499.99.
$500.
$500 fucking dollars, and you're making people buy 2 small ass little tiny figures that should be coming with it anyway.
It should be included.
500.
Like these figures should have.
And it has to pass 17K. So you are not getting Chopper or Sabine if it doesn't unlock all 3. Like you said, if it doesn't unlock all 3 tiers, you're like, that's so many paywalls right there. Like it's insane.
Yeah, and look, Mel, you're right. The art is beautiful. I love the fact that it's the mural, but this is once again just greedy as fuck. Like, I'm sorry, it is. Like, here's $500. Oh, by the way, if you want to complete,
we'll let you buy these 2 figures. No, we didn't learn after the failed Rancor and lightsaber. I mean, granted, the Ghost is already back, so they could still kind of throw the middle finger up at us. But yeah, it is certainly
100% bullshit.
Does it suck? Yes, but as I was watching the fan stream, it didn't jump out at me either. And it's as they said, these HasLabs traditionally have 3 tiers or 4 tiers or whatever it is, and so everything was set from the get-go. And I'm sure that some, they listened and that they were taking flack because it was like, we're not getting the whole crew. Now, they should have set it up from the beginning that you were getting enough of the crew in the initial that the tiers just rounded it out instead of this tacking things on the back end.
Right. That would have been, that would have been good.
Well, but I don't know that I would equate it to the Rancor or the lightsaber.
Well, because this got backed, unlike the other 2. But like, okay, tier 1, you get Ezra and Kanan. Tier 2, you get, Hera and Sabine. Tier 3, you get Zeb and Chopper. Like, for the size of the TVC, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
But you don't go, oh, hey, we know that we heard you. We hear you. We didn't round out the team. So after you pay $500 for this, you can buy the other 2. I'm like, are you... What? What? Like, I heard that last night, and I remember I was like working on a script, and I heard that. I was like, wait, rewind. Did they just say what I think they said? And they did. They did. It's like,
he's saying you group them, David. He's saying if they would have had 2 figures per stretch goal instead of 1 per, and then tacking on 2 at the end. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, I think that.
I think David's just saying what he thinks they'll hit in terms of.
Yeah, they'll hit Kanan, but they won't get Zeb.
Oh, I think we will get to Kanan, not Zeb. Okay, yeah, it's at 1,200 right now. That's at 12,106.
So that's 12K.
Got it.
And 100%. The audacity of it all is the fact that you spend 500, now spend more. It's like it's just.
I think the mentality here with these, it's hard to point fingers, right? It's who is it? Like, Disney's the easy target. They're the big mouse. But it's like, that's the mentality, is this is the precedent we set. If you don't like it, we don't care. It's like, and then we'll make adjustments, but we're never gonna fully we'll give you an inch. We'll never give you a foot. You know what I mean?
And that's fair. But I think, again, I think that I think it's greedy bullshit, and this hurts because it already got backed. Fine. But this hurts the fans. It hurts the collectors.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt
HasLab.
What's up, Dave?
It'll hurt the next HasLab.
It will.
People don't forget this. We know the fan community and the amount of, if they can find something to complain about, they will.
Look at the Dragonfly. We got awesome figures. Oh, girl, we got this for. Like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. But
he says there were 12 for 16. Is the so the other 4 are they all Star Wars?
No, there's the Cookie Monster was the first failure, which I think was the second HasLab they ever did.
Rancor, lightsaber,
and
someone help us out.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of all the brands.
Engine of Vengeance.
Oh, right, yeah. The car. Yes. And boy, do the Marvel fans still hold a grudge on that one.
I actually didn't even know about the Cookie Monster HasLab.
Yeah. Well, because again, it was just like a lot of people didn't know about the sail barge. And man, do I have huge regrets for not backing that one.
True.
And then the Cookie Monster came out right afterwards, and a lot of people were just
Aeroscape.
What?
Heroescape.
Oh, the Heroescape game. That's right.
Oh yeah. So that's 5.
Yeah, that's 5. Heroescape, Engines of Disaster, Rancor, piece of shit, the lightsaber, and the
lightsaber.
And the lightsaber. That should have been HasLab. That should have just been an FX series. I never understood why they did a HasLab on that.
Yeah, that one was that one was more tone deaf than the Rancor.
And the Rancor was I can't even a PG version of how tone deaf that was.
Oh yeah. I had it backed. I backed it and then I unbacked it.
I saw it and was like, what is this shit? No, I did not back that. Also, can I point out, Tress, we've almost hit 2 hours and you're like, it's gonna be an hour. I'm like, I told you it's not gonna be an hour.
Oh yeah. Well, that's because we added Dave. Dave added an hour by himself. So
Oh sure, blame Speck. I mean, I blame him for everything.
hey,
else.
but actually, before we go and before we forget, we got to talk about the quality of the. We have to review the actual stream and give it whiskeys. I didn't put that in the notes.
That's
Our
fine.
famous whiskeys, yeah.
Our whiskey. So
And he's a whiskey drinker, so we actually have someone who drinks giving whiskeys. It's always weird when I have all these straight edge YouTube dudes. I haven't had a beer since my mama had me, and then I'm like, "How many whiskeys?" And they're like, "What you talking about?" And they're like, 4.5.
as someone who
We get
does,
an actual professional whiskey collector drinker.
Yeah, I haven't bought a bottle in over a year. You want to talk about a market that created its own inflation, and COVID was a huge part of that, and has wonky distribution. You know, certain states don't get distribution from certain distilleries because of sales or laws or this or that or whatever. And then, oh hey, this whiskey that was $20 was super popular for the last 3 years with each batch. Everybody really freaking loved it. So now this year it's going to be $50. It's just like, you want to talk about and whiskey collectors and like where they're making friends and lining up and people at stores doing dirty shit. And yeah, KJ, like Costco, if you know the days of the drops, can get some really amazing bottles at really good prices. But the whiskey bourbon world is stupid enough to the point where it was just like, and I'm not a huge drinker. I love bourbon, I love whiskey, but like I stepped back. I see these bottles that I liked, you know, and I'm just no. I think 2 years ago, High West Distillery out of Utah, they mostly do ryes. They do a seasonal drop around Thanksgiving called Midwinter's Night Dram, and last year was the 9th year or the 10th year. And when I bought my bottle, I was able to find one that, you know, it's a mad dash. You got to find the stores when they get their allocation or they're gone.
It's worse than a Walmart exclusive.
Yeah, I got it for $110, and that's high for me for a bottle of whiskey. And I know for some people that's a flash in the pan. When they came out with the next act last year, $150.
Yeah,
and it's a fucking good bottle. No way am I paying $150. Like, no.
So it's funny you mentioned that. 2 years ago, no, last fall, the comic book shop I go to, one of the stores had a whiskey night. They had a book signing and a whiskey night. It was a lot of fun. We had like my collector glassware and everything. We went to like, I think 7 bottles of whiskey, which by the end of it, I'm like, I had to walk around the store to like, you know, walk everything off. It's like, oh yeah, that last year this was 20, now it's 50. I'm like, what? Why? And like, because it's good whiskey. I'm like, then you should.
Yeah, it's that thing. It's like if you found I found a really good, it's by Jim Beam. I'm not going to say the name. It's a $20 bottle. It's excellent. It drinks like a $60 bottle. And if I had the space, I would go ahead and buy a case of it. Because that's, if you find something you like and it's affordable, you should just buy a case of it and mothball it so that, you know.
So, when we did the San Diego episode of Speck, you bailed, you know, you bailed Travis out and you helped me. I was literally drinking this straight from the bottle, and I wasn't hurting. It tastes like vanilla ice cream. But it's true. Like if you have, and then if you find the bottle that you like mothball it, because it's going to go up in price. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
How I mentioned earlier that I was going to have to shift locations. I think I'm getting signaled that it's time.
Let's do the whiskey score right now. I gotta go. I gotta use the bathroom and eat anyway. Whiskey scores around the room.
That's my job. Whiskey scores around the room. Travis.
That was great. I love that. I love that. Cool. David's our guest. Let him go first, and he can go home.
Fine.
All right.
Go to his master bedroom.
2 whiskeys. Patrick wasn't there, and I know a lot of people don't like Patrick. I'm not gonna say that I'm like super fond of him, but he usually has at least the energy and
that laugh out.
Yeah, but the other guy that took the lead, it's just that thing. These guys are not camera friendly in the, and they shouldn't have to be. And I know that's what Hasbro does, and we're lucky with the Joes and the Marvel guys and even the Transformers. But like these Black Series people are not.
Well, Star Wars people, I made that mistake.
Like they just don't. They're not charismatic, and
they were looking on the main girl. Was it Jeannie, Jenny, whatever? She was looking at the freaking teleprompter, and they got a close up of her. I'm like, who's directing this thing? She's like looking right at the teleprompter, and there's a freaking close up on her. And then everyone else just looks really nervous most of the time. The only one who's chill is Corey's wife, Emily, right? That's Corey's wife, right? Corey Cantaloupe.
Oh, I didn't know
wrong?
they were married.
I don't know,
but I think. Yeah, but anyway, and the sad part is she's TBC, so I'm like, I don't care about TBC, but she's like more relaxed and chill and cool and like fine.
A little bit, but yeah, I mean the main girl, it was just like she tries to show excitement, but it's just so wooden. It's just I'm really excited for that too. Back to you, Bob. It's just like. And then the main guy, the whatever, the number 2 to Patrick, like,
thanks for confirming.
Cool. He's just like, cool. This is what we're gonna put out this week, and I don't like, cool, it's great now, and I don't know if they rehearse, I don't know but they're just not, they don't perform well in front of the camera.
There's a lot of stress dealing with Disney and Lucasfilm. They're very nervous about saying the wrong things and all that. And it's not even live anymore. They don't do these live anymore, right? No. So it's like pre-recorded. So they should just edit it. You know what I mean? Like let them. All right. Oh, 2 whiskeys. We'll let you go, Dave.
The light's been going on and out all night. I don't know what the hell
they're sending you messages.
You should like, it's time. It's time.
Yeah, somebody wrap it up.
We're waiting for the orchestra to start playing. Trav, what's your whiskey score?
2. Yeah, 2 as well. Didn't pre-order anything. It was, I think is it Merrick? The whole craze thing, how he had the very dark Knights of Ren suit, and then all of a sudden he's got the weathered gray and the orange, and it was like kind of cool how he got a spoiler. But if you watch, it was after the episode and everything. So I don't know, that whole thing was cool, but other than that, just the bad news with the 2, you had to purchase them. TBC, they showed 3 figures. The pipeline for Black Series, actually, that was a positive for me, having 2 figures, because of all the outstanding pre-orders we have. As we showed, we got like 4.5 waves. So the fact they only have 2 in the pipeline, that's a good thing. Otherwise, just a bad stream, just terrible. 2 out of 5.
I'm gonna shock you, Travis. I'm gonna shock you.
1 Bible, 1 whiskey.
Yep, 1. So here's the thing. Here's why I'm giving it 1. Look, I it's not their fault that they're not good in front of the camera. It's not. It's whoever is producing this. Look at, like, they moved Emily from Power Rangers to G.I. Joe, put her with Lenny. Magic. Dan, Dwight, and Ryan. That simpatico between the 3 of them, fantastic. They don't talk about bullshit. I'm still going, I could get that if I had money, 100%. 5-pack of figures that I don't want, that still kind of they get you hyped for it. They're like
likable, and so you forgive kind of the bullshit, because it's like, we're good. This Thor doesn't even come with a Mjolnir, but I like you, Dan.
I like
Ryan,
cool. Right.
Maybe I'll clearance weight, but like the Star Wars were like
the figures I do like, and like I said, like, I if I had the better job, 100%. Will I clearance these? More likely, yes. But watching it, like I told you, Trav, when we were talking earlier, I fast forwarded through them talking because it's so irritating and grating. Because it like Dave, you hit it right. It's like this anchor, like, that's great. Back to you. Oh, the puppies were adorable. Anyways, 5 people died on the inner. It's like, God, what? Like, there's no feeling behind it. And I get, and they look nervous. And I get it. They're like, there's like, the guy in the Mickey Mouse suit, going, whoo, don't say that. They look afraid of making a mistake. And it's like, it's coming through. And I think that, you need to go, all right, okay, well, okay, you obviously have like the charisma of R5. All right, fine. Let's get a chopper in here, right? Let's get someone who's like, like, okay,
Why don't they
that's
have Rosario Dawson do the shows with like, I don't know. She's cool. She's actually not one of those celebrities that would like, she would do it. I don't know. Get
right.
like get someone else. But there's no reason to catch the wrestling replay. We're done.
Like,
We're done.
that's my job. Anyways, yes, that is it for episode 134. As always, hey Dave, thanks for joining us, man. I know you got to get going.
Thanks for having me.
Travis, I know you got to go pee and eat because it is 9:05 there, and I got to go to bed. So, for a toy kind of mood, I'm Bobby. We will see you in the toy aisle. Peace.
Video. A toy kind of mood at night video. It's
Oh.
kind of